say before this class, we talked about test cases like we said exhaustive testing is not possible because what we mean by exhaustive testing is that it's infinite. Infinite means that you keep on testing and testing and testing again. There's no time for that. So what you do, you have to prioritize your test cases, and then you check the risk accessibility of that particular application you want to deploy to the server for the users, for the client to use. That's why we say exhaustive testing is not possible. And this exhaustive testing is one of those principles of testing techniques. And then we dive into these testing techniques, and we say one is the BVA, which we call the boundary value analysis. That's one of those testing techniques. So in the BVA, we said that to analyze that, we explain with one example by applying for any loan. When applying for any loan, we have a mobile text box for that loan. And when you apply for a loan, you can see that any text box we have, your mobile phone is there, and you can see our mobile phone has like 10 digits for those mobile phones. And 10 digits for those mobile phone, you can make, we have to check and analyze that this text box can able to accept 10 digits. So what you can not accept, you have to test for it. You can accept 9 digits, you can accept 8 digits, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And from anything you cannot accept also that is invalid is 11, 12, 13, 14 to infinite. So you have to test all those things. So why value analysis comes in is that you don't need to be testing all these digits to see if how that application is going to behave. So that comes about these techniques. And the one way is by the BVA, the boundary value analysis. So the 10-digit number, which also I said, just like your social security number or wherever. So let's say for your mobile number has 10 digits, it has 9, we have to test for 9, how we have to do some negative and positive texting. Okay, how these 9 numbers are going to behave when we type in 9 numbers in our text box. We are testing for it. We have to kind of test cases for this, test cases for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So how test cases for 1, 5, 6, 8, 9, how it will behave. But this for 10 is a positive one, is a valid one. So these are all invalid numbers. And above 10, we have 12, we have 13, we have 14, we have 15 to end number of them, lose number of them to infinite. Okay. So it's of you to start testing all these things. That is going to be a mundane task for us. Okay. So that's what boundary value analysis is talking about through the testing techniques. That instead of you to test all these things, just test for the valid one and carry out for the 10 and carry out for the 8 and you carry out for the mean value. So if your test cases is doing well in each boundaries, then we can say that our test cases, our result is passed. You don't need to be testing and again, as we can see in a principle of software testing that testing is infinite. That several people testing is saying that is infinite. It can't be testing and testing and testing again. So exhaustive testing is not possible. So all this you carry out all your test cases. And as for that show last week that if you have to suppose I have one test box which allowed me to carry for 30 characters. I have 30 characters and 5 characters. So what I'm going to do is that these 30 characters, the maximum of 30 characters and minimum of 5 characters. So what are we going to test for this? We're also going to test for invalids. We're going to test for 0 to 4 for that of 5. And for the maximum for the value one for that was 30, we're going to carry our test cases for 31 to the loose number of them. So here in equivalent class partitioning, what we are saying is that we have to carry our test cases in different classes, the different boundaries. How is behaving with 5 and 30? How is behaving between 5 and 30? Also, you will check how it's behaving within the mean value. What the mean value of 30 and 5? The mean value of 30 and 5 is 17 or so, because if you add 30 and 5, you have 35. 35 divided by 2, you're going to have 17 point something or so. So let's make it approximately 17 or 18. So you're going to test it for 18 also. So that's what it is. So if all your test cases you carry for 5, 18, 30, 0, and 4, 1, and so if your test cases are working in each boundaries, then you say your test case is working fine. And I told you that equivalence class partitioning creates valid and invalid classes. Okay, so it divides the input data of software into different equivalent data classes. You can apply these techniques where there is a range in input value. When there is a range, there are multiple ranges in input values. So you can then apply your equivalent class partitioning. The ECP is a software testing technique, which is equivalent class partitioning. A software testing technique that divides the input data of a software input into partitioning of class equivalent data from which test cases can be derived. That's what it is. So you don't need to be testing it again and again. Just take the input values of those equivalent class partitioning, and then you hit your test cases, because exhaustive testing is not possible. Okay.
All right.
You can see the sample of equivalent class partitioning, right? So for 0, from 0, 1 to 10 is valid, okay? Then you have to test for invalid too. So anything from 10, anything from 11 to 99 is also invalid. Anything from 100 and above also is invalid. So you have to test for all those things. Then 0 also is invalid. So what you do equivalent class partitioning is that you have to do the boundary value analysis of it. Equivalent class partition and boundary value analysis are used in conjunction when there is range in values. So you can see that they said from here, 1 to 10 is considered valid. Maybe you are going to book a ticket. Any ticket you want to book, make a flight ticket, that the user or the client or the passenger should not book any ticket more than 10. Anyone should not book any ticket more than 10. Maybe you're going on vacation with your family. Okay. Number of a family is 10. If you book more than 10, you cannot do that anymore. That is also kind of equivalent. So you are trying those cases, right? Test cases for that, for those clients. So anything above 10 is considered to be valid. Anything above 10 is considered to be invalid. So I want to carry on my test cases. I'll carry my test case for 1 to 10. And also I'm going to do the mean value. What is the mean value between this 1 and 10? It's going to be like 5 or 5 or
Five.
let's say 6 or so. So you can do your test cases for 5. You can test case for 5. Therefore, test 5 cases for this application, it's valid. So my test case passed. For 0 is failed, because I did anything below 1 is invalid. So my test case failed at that particular value, that particular boundary. So boundary value analysis is to check your test cases in each boundaries. So instead of you doing test cases to infinite, that is numerous number of the test cases, you are running different test cases and say and imputing different values in that text box. You're inputting different values in that particular checkbox there. So that will cost you a long period of time, because testing is impossible. Okay. So exhaustive testing is not possible. You can't test and say you want to check everything from heads to the infinite. It's not possible, because there's a lot of time constraint. So avoid this time constraint that comes about this testing techniques. Two different ways of testing. You have a equivalent class partitioning. We have the BVA, boundary value analysis. If my test cases is performing well at each boundaries, I don't need to test it again and again, reaching different inputs. Then you can say my test cases is passed. All my test cases are all working fine. And also show you last week about booking up a flight decision table. Okay. Also, that's where you carry your different testing techniques. They will give you your industry, in your organization where you're working, they give you different inputs. Okay. You try it. Okay. You testing your booking sites like your flights airline tickets. Okay. So the airline ticket, when you're going to Chicago, you're going to California, all the way from Dallas, Fort Worth, there will going to be a data. Data is very important. You have to input a data in that particular text box, in that particular flights where you are going to. So you have to test it. You're a QA analyst. You have to test this application before we deploy this application for our client to use to book their flight tickets. So you are working with Delta Airline, you're working with American Airlines or any airline or Alaska Airline, whatever. You have to test these applications, all right? So what you do is that they're going to give you a environment where to test your application. So they give you your sites where you test this application. So now you're carrying all your testing techniques. They're going to be an input. Now, what I mean by F is false. False, it means that there is no input given. You didn't input any data in where you are going from, okay? That's what is not included. So it's not included. Where you are going, Chicago is included. Okay. You can see that right here, am I going to book the flight tickets? No, you're not going to book the flight tickets. The flight ticket will not be booked because your input where you're going to was not inserted. Where you are where you're moving from is not inserted. Where you're going from is inserted. So you're not going to book the ticket. In the other way, you didn't input where you're going from, you didn't put where you are going to land, where you are going. So you can see that the ticket will not be booked. From is where you are coming from. To is where you are going. You didn't input the data, so you're not going to book the ticket. Right here, you input it where you're going from Dallas Fort Worth, and here it not puts Chicago where you're going to. You're not going to book the ticket because this is not going to access. Here you then insert Dallas Fort Worth where you're coming from, and here you input where you are going. You are going to Chicago. Are you going to book the ticket? You're definitely not going to book the ticket. So right here, you input your data where you are coming from Dallas Fort Worth, and where you're going to Chicago. Definitely, you are going to book the ticket. So this is what decision table is talking about. This is what testing techniques is all about. You are testing different applications, how they going to behave. I also talk about the transition, state of transition. When you start to go to an ATM, you start your car. So this is all about basically a black box testing technique that is called carried out to observe the behavior of the system or application from different input conditions passed in a sequence, moving in a sequential form. Okay. In this type of testing, both position and negative input values are provided and the behavior of the system is observed. You can see in transition diagram where you are doing shopping, maybe you are shopping for a goods or services, for instance, you are providing the incorrect PIN for your ATM card. What will happen in the first time is that it will ask for, if you put the incorrect PIN, it asks for the second PIN, second trial. The second time you enter the incorrect PIN, it will ask for a third trial. After that, your account will be what? Will be blocked. Okay, we can see that every day when we make a mistake, I try to put in your insert a PIN number. So this is transition, all right? How your system behaves and that particular process. So this is called the state transition diagram. How our system will behave from one state to the other state. And before I end the class, I did explain to you what the use case is all about. Despite test case and use case sounds alike is not the same thing. Test case is different. Can someone tell what the test case is? Test case. What is test cases?
It's like an action
Step by
to
step.
understand the functionality of the application.
An action to carry step by step of any
Yeah,
application, any
to
functionality,
understand,
step by
yeah, the
step.
functionality of the application.
Yes, I told you for every scenario, you have multiple test cases. So, but despite this test case and use case, it sounds alike, doesn't mean they are the same. Use case is different. Use case testing is a testing technique that helps to identify that test case that cover the entire system on a transaction by transaction basis from state to finish. Okay, so it is a description of a particular use of the system by a user. You user, you are making your own, you making use of that particular application. So you can say that maybe your ATM, you are the actor. The system, yeah, the ATM is the system. Okay, does the S is the system. Okay, this is the main scenario. So number one, you insert your card. Two, the system will validate the card and ask for the PIN. That's your kind of use case, right?
Yes.
Then number three is that you enter the PIN as the card that asks you for the PIN, you enter the PIN. Then the first step is that the system will validate the PIN. If it's incorrect or correct PIN, you enter your ATM machine. So the fifth step is that the system allows access to the account. Why will the system allow access to the account is that when you enter the valid PIN. Now, further explain is that card is not valid. Maybe your card is not valid. It displays message and rejects the card. Then the fourth is that the PIN is not valid. They say it displays message and asks for retry it twice, just twice. Okay, you have to try you try it twice if the PIN is not valid. So, and if the PIN is invalid, the third times it will hit the card and exit. Sometimes you can see it on ATM, we swallow the card. Sometimes it will just extract the card for you to take off because you are entering a valid pay. So these are use cases carried on by yours testing techniques. The use case testing is a technique that helps to identify test cases that cover the entire system on a transaction by transaction basis from start to what to finish. It's a description of a particular use of the system by you, the user. All right. So that is all about it. I also want to go through the videos. Do you have any questions with respect to these testing techniques? Any question with respect to these testing techniques? Use cases as actor and the system. Okay, you are the actor and this is system, the ATM. The actor, when you are going into some ATM machine, then inserting a card is the action. Okay, so then the system is to validate the card and ask for PIN. And three, you can see there, you enter the PIN, the system will validate it and allows access to that account. Then if card is not valid, then displaying error message and rejects card. If PIN not valid, then display the error message, you enter the incorrect PIN three times, it will block your ATM card. All right. So that's what the use case is about. These are all what's kind of the testing techniques. Abraham, any question
No,
on
no question.
this?
No question.
Okay. Okay, that brought us to this topic today. We don't have to waste much of time. We have to this is very important. We are almost done with the fundamental of texting. So we have been talking about these bugs all the time. If someone can just relate it to me and just tell me what you understand by these bugs. What is these bugs? What is mean of this bug? What is bug is what we keep on talking all the time. What is a bug? What is bug?
I think bug is something that test identify due to error in the code.
Yeah, due to error in the code. When we have when the developer has errors in the program, then we have bugs in the system. Bugs is basically deviation from the expected outcome. If if 2 plus 2 equals to supposed to be 4, but we're having 2 plus 2 to be 5. That's an error, that's a bug. Then you say that's a bug. So today we discuss bug. We'll talk about this bug. We'll talk about this bug, um, priority, severity, and also I think by next week we'll enter into Jira as for those that have a knowledge of Scrum, how to log in your bugs using a particular tool they call Jira. Okay, we have different tools, we have bugs out there, so all of them like that. So we talk about priority, we talk about severity, we talk about different of these things, bugs, priority, severity, and then how to log this particular box. So we'll talk about priority, we talk about severity of the bug, and time permit maybe next week. Jira, this is a automation tool where you use to log in those bug priority, bug severity, and all those stuff there, how severe that bug is. But today, if time permits, we quickly cover what are those bugs and how what is the in-depth of these bugs are. So we start with that priority. What is priority of that a particular bug in our system? So you can say priority determines how quickly bugs should be removed from the system. Priority is how quickly a bug should be fixed and eradicated from the website. Bug priority indicates the sense of urgency for dealing with a bug on our website. Okay, priority basically talks about the business point of view. That's what you should have in the back of your mind, right? So priority basically talks about the business point of view, how important this bug is in the business point of view. How is important this bug is in the business point of view. That's what priority is. Okay. Suppose you have a website. Suppose you have a website. Let me. So we have this website. We have our website here. So where's the website? Let's say every website is supposed to have a logo, right? Am I communicating? Every website is supposed to have a logo.
Mm-hmm.
Ace Bank, Bank of America, HSB Bank. So every website is supposed to have a logo. Okay. Um, Now, suppose the website logo is not present. This logo, this University of Texas, UTA right here. This logo is not present. Suppose this logo is not present on this website. What will happen? What will be the impact of the business in this site? What will be the impact on this business on these sites?
It's actually to be ambiguous because you don't know the school you're dealing with.
Yes. So they're going to be eyebrow, okay? So they're going to raise an eyebrow. So it will have a high impact on the business or the institution. Okay. So priority is in that business aspect is a business point of view. That's what priority is. Trying to explain to you what priority is. So every website has a logo, and you can see that if that logo is not present on that website, that's going to be an impact on this very institution. Okay, so priority is indicates the sense of urgency for dealing with a bug on our website. Priority talks about the business point of view, how important this bug is in the business point of view. Now, priority can either be low priority, medium priority, high priority. So the one I just explained to you now is of a what? High priority.
Who determines that?
The client,
Okay.
because they gave you a job to do. So you
Mhm.
in that site, they say to build up the website for them, and they found out that the UTA on Chase Bank or Bank of America logo is not on the side. They're going to raise an eyebrow. So that word's priority comes from the word from the client. Fix this on a priority. I
Okay.
can't take it for just a second. It's a high bug. There's a bug in the system that you just built for this customer. So priority have different types. Your priority can be low, it can be medium, it can be high priority. For what I just explained to you now for the UTA website, where the logo is not featured in that website, that means it's of a high priority. Because customer will be confused. Am I really landing on the page I want to log in my school credentials or my school applications? Am I really on my school website? Because the logo is not there. Even the spelling mistake, like let's take example from let me say if I have something like this, in a place of like Google, I have something like in place of Google, I'm having something like this, and it's the O is not there, it's Google. Are you not going to raise an eyebrow for this?
Yes.
Yeah, this is not the outside. I want to search anything right here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be of a what? Just any small spelling mistake can be to be a very high priority because users are making use of it. Okay.
Right.
It's of a business. I said priority is of what business point of view. Business client comes in there, in and out. So if they find anything, just a spelling mistake can be of a what? Of a high priority. So they give you the job to do, and your team is deploying, instead of Google, they deploy Google. So that's going to be of a high priority. So lies in between high and low, we have medium. Okay. Though Google page has no major bugs in the system, suppose it even have it's showing error is going to be a low that is a very high priority if there's a mistake, spelling mistakes in that particular um, page. Okay, so that is of a high priority. Spelling mistake can be a high priority. Just logo is not there on the system, on the application, can be of a high priority. What is the low priority? Now, what do you consider to be a low priority? If I take an example from here, and let me go to this Google page. Wait, there is from. Okay, going to this Google page right now. Have there anyone ever click on these terms and condition settings, privacy? Have you ever clicked on this before?
Yes.
It's
All the
rarely though.
time.
All the time, you always come when you go to Google, you always go to privacy.
Oh no, no.
No, yeah, what you
Yes.
do right here, you just type in what is the
Right.
weather in Dallas, Texas, and
Yeah.
where is it? Yeah, so
Yeah. Yeah.
now, if I click on this privacy terms and condition, let me see terms and condition, and you can see right here, if there is a spelling mistake right here, maybe in place of archive, I have, or in case of version, or in case of downloads, or anything, your country, I put it county version. Is that going to be a high priority or low priority?
Uh, it
A low
should be high.
priority.
It's a problem.
Is a
It
yeah,
should
I
be
know.
high.
Yeah,
A
it's
low
going to be
priority.
high? It's
A
going
low
to be what?
priority.
It's going to
A
be low
low.
priority.
Why?
Why is it going to be low priority? Though Google Page has no major bugs, though. This Google Page don't have no major bugs in their system. Okay, they don't have major bugs in their system. So it's even if it's even showing error, maybe when I click here, when I click here, I have error 404, or when you click on say page not display, or maybe I click on here about these terms or updates, and I couldn't see the next page. It shows me this error 404 or page not found. Okay, so that's going to be a low priority. Why is going to be a low priority? Because you say priority has high, it has a medium, it has low. Okay, so in this case, I just explained to you, it's going to be of a low priority. Why is it going to be of a low priority? Because I said, priority is of what business value. Okay, and though Google page has no major bugs in the system, it's if it's even showing you when you click on this update, you can't see this page, it's showing you this page cannot be displayed. It's still going to be of a low priority in the sense that it's low priority because we see it rarely. Okay, we don't come into this page all the time. No one comes into, you don't
Mhm.
even come to here, no one click on it. So we don't come to this page all the time, this checking terms and condition and everything. So it's low priority because we see it very rarely from the business point of view.
Mhm.
Okay, so that makes it going to be a low priority. I hope you get my point now.
Mhm.
Okay, it's going to be of a what? Of a low priority. So now between low and high lies medium. Okay. Now I want you to have in the back of your mind that anything, I repeat, anything which has less number of user landings, less number of user landings. What I mean by landing is that people always see that. Less number, you don't always see that. They always click on that. They don't always go to that page. So anything which has less number of user landings, we have low priority. As you can see in that terms and condition, right? So it will be
Mhm.
of a low priority. You click on it, that page will not be able to display the next page or all those things. So it's going to be of a low priority. And anything which each and every user we see is going to see we have a what? If a high priority for the business. Like you just enter landing to that page, uta.com, chasebank.com. What you see is that logo to identify Bank of America, identify Chase Bank. And there's a spelling mistake. There's sort of the word of Bank of America, you're having Bank of America. Okay, you'll be like, are you in a scam page? Is it actually a page I subscribe for? Is it on my banking page? Is it on my university page? So it's going to be of a higher priority. Small mistakes, just a little spelling mistake can be of a what of a high priority. So it depends on the user landings and two, business value. I repeat, anything which has less number of user landings, we have low priority. And anything which each and every user, you and I, is going to see, we have high priority for the business. The word priority comes from the word, as Ms. Davis is saying, who has authority to say that is the client. You developing this application for the clients. And they check on the application you build it for them, and they found that instead of this banking, they say big. They're going to take it even for 1 second. They will say fix it in what? In a high priority. So that what priority comes from the business point of view, from the client itself. So if you feel is important and not many users are going to come under that page, then it will be what? Of a what? Medium priority.
All right.
Hope you get my point now. If you
Yes,
feel,
sir.
not most people gonna come into that page, they do somehow, not much, then it will come under medium priority bug. You're gonna raise a bug for that. If there's a bug in our system. So if they have a high user landing to that particular page and you find a bug in our system, it's going to be a high priority. But if it's not, people don't even do usually land to that page, like what I showed to you for Google page, terms and condition, privacy now, then it's going to be of a low priority because less number of people land into that particular page. So low priority. So priority, it determines how quickly bug should be removed from the system. Priority is quickly a bug should be fixed and eradicated from the website. Bug priority indicates the sense of urgency for dealing with a bug on our website. And I told you how that in mind that priority basically talks about the business point of view, how important this bug in this business point of view. The client related to you all the time. We're going to talk about agile and we know what I'm talking about. Any question related to that priority? Bug
No, sir.
priority?
I
Able to tell that
understand
you
that.
interview? All right. So we have severity of a bug. There comes severity of that bug. There's also, this is very important. They say severity defines the effect the bug has on the system. Realizing the severity of a bug is critical from risk assessment and management point of view. What does it mean? Let's talk about the Google page now. Let me go back to the Google page and you see from this Google page, this terms and condition right here. Okay, terms and services, terms and condition and privacy. If you click on this, we found terms and services on there. So now, if there is an error on this page, okay, it will be of a what? Of a low priority. Why?
Because people don't
But
see that pages often.
thank you. Yeah, people don't see that. So it's going to be of what? Of a low priority because we are not landing on this page many a times. But suppose I'm clicking on archives version. I'm
Mhm.
clicking on these archive versions. I'm clicking on this download PDF and all those stuff like that.
Mhm.
So any of these things on this page, and it's giving me this error. So I know you're familiar with when you see error 404. You don't understand the meaning of these errors when
Yeah,
we start doing
yeah, yeah,
about this API. Yeah, we have
yeah,
different errors 404, 400. You don't know much
yeah.
about it. Things
I've
comes, okay?
seen it before.
Yeah, I've seen it before, yeah, but you don't understand
Mhm.
what it is. There are different errors.
Right.
They have different names for that. When you see that errors, you identify this is server error, this is this error. So there are different errors for that. We'll talk about that later on in next sections. So suppose you are clicking on this archive version, so any of these things on the page, and it's giving me this error 404, 504 error, HTTP 504 error. Would that be a high priority bug or a low priority bug?
Hmm. I
You
guess
know
it's
that?
still. I guess it still be low since it's not on the main page. It's not the company didn't say it was a high priority. Maybe still a low.
Yeah, but I'm really talking about severity right now. Okay, priority,
Oh,
severity, whatever. Okay,
oh,
so I'll
oh,
just I want to illustrate more to you so you understand what severity is all about. Because I'm trying to
okay.
tell you that severity,
I
realizing the
think that would be a
severity of the bug.
severity. Severity, because if you can't go any long, if you can't go into the next page or the next download your PDF, that's a problem.
Okay, so just to explain what severity is all about. Okay, you understand what priority is about business point of view and all the stuff. But now, to further explain what severity is on that bug itself, we say realizing the severity of a bug is critical for risk assessment and management point of view. I'm clicking
Mhm.
on the archive versions. I'm clicking on the download versions of this, and I'm having these errors on the system. Error 402, 401 error pages on that system. Okay,
It defines the effect.
okay. So now anyone else, you have any answer to that? If I'm clicking on the archive versions or I'm clicking on this, anything here on download section of this page that is not really seen, we don't usually land on this page, but I'm getting this 504 error, HTTP 504, HTTP 404 errors, any server error, any kind of errors on my page. Would that be high priority bug or of a low priority? Michael, you have any question? You have any answer to that? If I'm clicking this very same page, I'm getting a 504 page. So what will this be? Will this be low priority or a high priority?
I think it's of high priority
Why is it a high priority?
because for download you want to get information. Maybe you couldn't need information, and all the time you're getting there is not actually giving you your results. I think it's
Mhm.
from my own perspective anyway.
What is people, we don't usually land on this page.
I know
So
if you're not usually landing on the page, it becomes a low priority. If you're not usually
So,
landing on the page, it becomes low priority. It's not of business interest all the time.
so no matter what happens on a low priority, it's never severity. It's always a low priority. Period. It's never
yes,
high priority.
so it will be of a low priority bug. So the definition of a priority is that it depends on the business user. Okay, it depends on the business user, and I said again, it also depends on number of landings on that page. Okay, landing means how many users are coming to that page.
Right.
So the priority is defined as that case. So it's going to be of a low priority. Now, severity can be minor here. It can also call it low also. Okay, it can be low, it can also be minor. So severity can be minor, severity can be major severity, severity can be what? Critical.
So what's the definition of critical, minor, and what determines that if it's critical when it's of
Now,
local?
yeah. So if you look at the severity I'm just showing to you, see what does the definition of severity is saying here? It says it defines the effect the bug has on the system. Realizing the severity of a bug is critical from a risk assessment and major point of view. Let me further explain that. Let's talk about the critical aspect of it now. Now, but the severity of the bug, that page I just showed to you, the Google page, you click on download section, you was able to download archive version, PDF version, you can able to access it, the download version of it. So now, but the severity of that bug will be critical. Why? Because it's giving me error straight away. No functionality is working. It's giving me error straight away. No functionality is working. I cannot test that particular page. So it will be critical severity bug.
Mm.
Why is it critical bug? Because it's giving me error 504 when I click on download page. It's giving me error 400, etc. Okay, I'm not able to test that page at all. All the test cases are raised to test that particular functionality, which I've created. All these things will be blocked. I know you're not in the class, Miss Davis is not in the class when we talk about test cases, RTM. Abraham, you remember when I said last discussion, I talk about test cases, we talk about blocked, what block does when we are testing the loan functionality of SYVZ Bank. You still remember the test cases that wasn't able to execute because it was the loan existing user and the previous and the new user, the existing user can able to apply for that loan, so it's getting blocked. So you can't able to test the functionality. So that will be of a critical bug, but low priority. Okay.
Yes.
And of course, I want to take these words on the line. Realizing the severity is important from the risk assessment and management point of view. What risk can be there if some bug is present? How much risk it could bring? But from example we took right now, when I told you that about the page, that will be of a low risk. Okay? Realizing the severity of a bug is critical from risk assessment and management point of view. I just show you the download page in risk terms and privacy of the Google page. From that example we took right now, that will be having of a low risk. Because why? Not many people are coming to that page. I once told you sometime when I tried to discuss some interview questions with you when you talk about SLC testing, I mean, 7 pieces of software testing. They said you have only 2 hours to hit the production server. You have only 2 hours to test your test cases. What kind of testing we were doing? I told you that in that case, you said SLC testing is not possible. You do the what?
You
Abraham, you
prioritize it.
remember the risk
Yeah, you
assessment of
prioritize.
it,
You
and you
prioritize.
prioritize your test cases,
Yeah.
and then this is what I'm talking about now. Realizing the severity of a bug is critical from risk assessment text. So you ought to risk, what risk we bring to user. They're not able to download this application, this particular page. So what risk assessment? You do the risk assessment of that particular application and management point of view. Because not many people are coming to that page. So understanding the severity is important from management and risk assessment point of view. So we have previously we have our priority to be low priority. We have a priority to be medium priority. We have a priority to be high priority. So also in severity, similarly, we have minor, which we also can say is also low, okay? And priority, severity can be major severity. It can, and
Critical.
severity can also be critical severity, critical bugs, okay? So the major bugs here in lies between the minor and the critical comes the major. So the major bugs from the same page we discussed, the same page we talked about, the Google page where you can click on terms and conditions. So the major bugs from the same page we discussed can be of a download link. Okay, if that particular download link is not working, that would be a major bug. Okay, because not very people who come into that page to download. So you remember the same thing I told you about the priority. In lies the low and the high comes the medium. Okay, so if you feel that not more people are going to log into that particular page, that can start to be of a medium priority bug. If you have any bug in that system when you try to test, you try your test cases. So in that case, where we have our download section, we have our download PDF on the Google page I just showed to you, then that could be of a low my major bug, major severity. So the minor severity and the minor severity and low priority, if spelling mistake is present on the page where less number of users are coming, that will be of a minor severity and low priority. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Like the page I just showed to you, I don't want to put the page again. Let me see. Like if there is a common mistake in this page, this there's a common mistake in this page. Maybe you have in case, let me spell this and see. Like in case of this, we have instead of service, we have service. We have
Services.
service. Yeah, in that case right here. So that's going to be of a low.
Oh, that's a misspell. It's supposed
That's
to
a
be
mistake,
service.
but people
Mm-hmm.
don't actually see that all the time. So if there's a mistake here, that's going to be a minor severity and of a low priority. Severity will be low, priority will be low also. So if spelling mistake is present on this page where less number of users are coming, that will be of a minor severity and a low priority. So priority got to do with the business point of view. So if you take example from the social media where we have our social media page, let me say something like our Facebook page. Okay, we have our Facebook page where we have Facebook page. Suppose that we have this application as our Facebook social media as our application. We have various modules there. What have been my modules is that we have like all those add friends functionality. We have news feed in Facebook. We have notification in Facebook. All those are all what we call modules. All those things you see, those notification, add friends, pictures, upload, all those things are all modules. Okay. Suppose the news fields, in Facebook, we have a news. We have a news feed in there. So the news fields that is there, maybe the news feed itself is not working. We are getting error there when we click on it. So would that be critical severity? If the news field in your Facebook is not working,
How many times people click on it, I guess, is it what's going to determine that. How
Yeah,
do we
because
know
yes,
how
because
do we know how many people click on it? So
well,
go
you
to
are testing. You don't need to know what because it's your own duty to test all those things. Okay,
oh,
so you from the point of view, people always that's the news. It feeds
right,
with a
right.
lot of news. So and it's not really actually working. People always that's it. First, will always give you a news flash on your phone, even on your if you have it on your system. It is on
Hmm.
notification on your system. So
I would say it's a priority if people using that a lot. I don't use it on
so
Facebook, but if it's a lot of people using it, it's a priority. And
so in that case, we're gonna say it's critical. Okay,
all
it's gonna
right,
be critical.
all
So
right,
suppose new feed itself is not working, we are getting error there. So that would be a critical severity. It's
severity,
critical. Yeah. Like
severity.
that of the major, let's say the major now is going to be like suppose some of the photos is not getting loaded, like you want to after uploading them, it's not even it's not showing that it's the pictures, the photos are uploaded. That would be of a major severity
Critical.
because people don't actually load their pictures like that. So that could
Okay.
be because it's less. It depends. Okay, if you feel that in this case, less number of people are making use of this particular functionality on this
Okay.
application, then that would be a major severity. Suppose spelling mistake is present on terms and conditions page on your social media, maybe spelling mistake is present right here. What would that be? Maybe in terms of disagreement, we say the agreements. Maybe anything like terms, we see teams. Any spelling mistake on this page. So what would that be? What would that fall onto?
It's
Minor.
either minor. Yeah, I was gonna say
It's gonna
minor.
be
Not
minor.
crit. It was not critical, and it's really not major. So minor.
Yeah, it's gonna be minor severity. So mostly this is mostly asked interview questions between priority and severity. Okay. So you have to like try to tell them, can you tell me what is different between these two things? It's going to be a minor severity or it's going to be a low severity. So depends how you're able to illustrate it in your interview point of view. So it's going to be a minor severity, just spell mistake on the page that is not really being visible to the user. Then less user
So
land is in it.
so when we're doing these testing, do we have the choice to make that decision, or is it up to the company that's
You
giving
are
us?
the choice. You owns the quality. That's a quality assurance engineer, quality
Oh,
assurance analyst. If you don't release
okay.
anything, you own the power to release any application to the market. If you did not sign it, it's not going to go into the market because you are the quality. You own it because the company hire you to be a quality assurance engineer, quality assurance analyst. Because every company wants someone to assure them of their product they're going to release. So that's your job duty. That's
Yeah,
your
I
description of your job.
understand. I
Yeah,
understand.
like your Gmail accounts, your any account, you see every account has a log off, sign off, and all those stuff. So it's the
Mhm.
quality assurance engineer, the quality analyst that does the sign off. That I'm saying that everything in this system is working fine. My inbox is working fine. My sent items is working fine. My draft mail, compose mail, everything is working. I've tested everything is working fine. Then he then grant the sign off. So you own the power to do that.
Okay. All right.
So those are different between these. I say severity can be minor, it can be major, it can be critical. So what are those differences between priority and severity? Now you can quickly understand what it is. Now I said severity is about how bad bugs are. That's severity, how bad the bugs are. Priority is about how soon it should be fixed.
All right. I'm
Okay?
good.
Business point of view. Priority, Severity is how bad the bugs are. So you're gonna get the I don't you don't get it twisted anymore, because I want
Okay.
you to understand this very, very clear. Like some particular page are not opening. Severity is about how bad bugs are. For instance, like some particular page are not opening at all. That will be of a high severity bug. Even if it's less used and very few people come to that page, it's still considered high critical bug. So severity is how bad bugs are. When you click on archive version on a Google page, you see we have less number of people that comes into that page. But is it considered to be of a what? Critical severity is how bad the bugs are. How about this have impact on our application, not on the user point of view? I want you to get it clear about what severity is all about. Abraham, are you following? How about this we have? How about this we have impact on our application, despite people don't usually land on that particular terms and condition, privacy, settings, and all those things. When you click on it, it gives you an error. That would be severity. Severity is how bad bugs are, how bad these have impact on our application, not on the user point of view. Because user don't usually come to that page, that makes it know it's low severity. No, that is severity for you. It's how bad the bug is going to be critical. But the code point of view is how bad the point of view, but the code point of view is about the code part of it. The code point of view, how bad it is from the code point of view. That is severity. It's about severity. Just have it in back of your mind. Severity is all to do with codes. The code I was reading on that particular application, how bad it will have an impact on our own side, the testing team, on the user point of view, not on the user point of view, but the code point of view. How bad this will have impact on our application, not on the user point of view, but the code point of view. That's severity. How bad it is from the code point of view. Now, priority is about how soon it should be fixed.
Yeah.
From the example which I gave on Google, like I said, this is wrong. This is right, right? Instead of this, then you are saying this on your page. We saw this, Google. You saw Google. So the whole reputation of that website will be gone. I will have doubts if I have arrived at that correct page or not. So priority is how soon it should be what should be fixed. It
So,
can be a very, yes, ma'am.
so on the severity, if it's like if it's given a code, an error code, that's
Yes,
considered high, and if it's misspelled word, that's considered low.
yes. You don't understand what it is now. That's from it sequence. So it's just to have in mind is severity is how bad, what impact the code in the code point of view, what impact is having into us as the team. Okay, that
All
concept
right.
to be severity. All right,
Okay.
the code
Yes.
point of view, how bad it is from the code point of view. But this priority, the priority is about the business aspect, the business point of view. Priority is about how soon it should be fixed. From the example which I gave to you, I said instead of Google, you're having Google. So the reputation of that particular page is gone. I will have that if I have arrived at the correct page or not. So priority is how soon it should be fixed.
Yes, sir.
It can be a very small bug, maybe developer, or developer team that develop, maybe they may take 10 minutes to fix that particular bug. Suppose in place of University of Texas. Okay, you have you have a University. The I is missing. Okay, University of Texas. So
Mm,
the owner of this site will not accept this bug at all for just even 2 minutes.
right.
The owner of the site will tell you, we asked the development team, okay, we have the development team to fix this bug on a priority. That's where the word I told you, the word comes from the client. Okay, it will be an high priority bug. Priority is how early it should be fixed. Bug severity is operated by functionality. Get this straight. Bug
Got it.
severity is operated by functionality. On the other hand, bug priority is operated by business value. Bug severity is operated by functionality. On the other hand, bug priority is operated by business value. The client will tell you, fix this, it's priority for business value. But severity ought to do with the functionality, ought to do with code. You having this error 404, 405, and 504, HTTP, all those things are code point of view.
Oh,
So
it's letting me
priority,
screenshot it. So it's
say what,
letting me
man?
screenshot. I said it's letting me screenshot your notes. That's good.
Yeah. So priority is how early it should be fixed. So bug severity is operated by functionality. As I told you, how bad the code is. Bug severity is operated by functionality. How bad the code is, that defines the severity of the bug, how bad the code is.
Got it.
Okay, so I've made a huge blunder. The developer has made a huge blunder on the coding part, but is having a less impact on the user. So it will be low priority bug. On the other hand, bug priority is operated by business value. So I've taken much examples of that. Okay. Though when you go to the terms and conditions, you can see you want to download the page and you found that you cannot able to download those page, archive version, all those on Google page or any page. Though users don't usually land on that page, but to you on the code aspect of it is of a high severity bug. Okay. But so the user is of a low priority. They don't usually use it. So priority on the other hand, bulk priority is operated by what I'll say for business value. Okay, why the severity is how bad the code are. I've made a use blunder on that particular code, able to download it. So it's about the code. Severity is about code. That's just have it in back of mind. When you talk about anything, you want to take your interview, have this back of mind that severity should be about the code. The developer has made a blunder on that code. I can't test it. Your functionalities is not testable. I can't able to test this functionality on this page. But to the business aspect of it, to the user, is of a low priority because they don't usually use that page. They don't land on that particular page. It's going to be of a what? Of a low priority to that particular user. So bug severity is determined by functionality, whereas priority is determined by what? By user experience. I hope we get this slide now. Difference between the priority and severity. This is about to do with the codes. This is how to do the business value. The clients, okay, how they see it. But to you, you see it as you can able to execute the functionality of that particular page. So they have different quadrants in all. We have different quadrants of our severity and of our priority. So priority can be what? We have different quadrants to that. I told you the low can be, the minor is also called low. So we have priority versus the severity. You have the four quadrants to that. So you can see from here, from four quadrants, it can be, priority can be what? priority can be low. Let's start from here. Priority can be low. Severity can be minor. Minor, you can see it can be low. This minor means low. Okay. So priority can be high. Severity can be low. Priority can be high. Severity can be critical. Priority can be low. Severity can be critical. So there are 4 conjoined to that. Okay. So there can be 4 major possibility which can happen. We take each of these example one after the other. First, we take the first example, which is say priority is low, severity is critical. Severity is minor, or priority is low, severity is minor. Okay, or it says severity is low. What can fall into these particular quadrants from your point of view? When we say severity is low, priority is low, severity is low, what falls into these quadrants? What can fall into this particular quadrant?
Say it again. Repeat that, please. When the priority is low, repeat that
When
again.
when the we have different quadrants. Priority
Right.
can be low, severity can be minor. And this priority can be high, severity can be minor, priority can be high, severity can be critical, priority can be low, severity can be critical. So in which definition, in which day-to-day activities or we are testing can fall onto this, oh, I would say, okay, yes, it can be a very low priority, and then this will be of a severe, the severity can be will be minor in this particular scenario. So, okay, let me just make an example for you right now. When I say severity priority is low, severity is minor. This illustration can fall into these quadrants. The Google page, for example, which I explained to you, suppose I'm going to this page and kind of a mistake. I showed to you here on the Google page here, and there's a mistake here. Let me, if you want to experience what, there's a mistake here in maybe, yeah, instead of which, they have maybe the age, they made a mistake in this age. They say which is of CH. It's of the C, they put the X here.
Where you at on the
So
country version? Where you at? Oh, on performance, the word performance. Where you at?
I'm on the Google page. Can you see my screen here?
I see you on the terms of use, and then where you at after that? What are you asking about?
Yeah, like I'm trying to illustrate the one the priority is low, severity is low, okay, or minor, whatever it is, what we call it. So I'm taking the Google page as an example. Suppose
Okay.
I'm going to this page and there is some kind of mistake present here. In the place of this this which, in the place of
Okay.
this, that's what it is expected, because in place of this which, you are having something like
Let's describe how.
maybe instead of the C,
Oh,
you're having X. Okay.
okay.
So this
Uh-huh.
kind of issue will be of a low priority and low severity. It will have less impact on the user, right? It will have
Yes,
less
sir.
impact on the user, and also not that big mistake to the developer as well, to
All right.
the coding part of it,
So it'll be
because
in that bottom left box.
yeah, it's going to be in the bottom left box
Bottom
right
left.
here. Yeah, the priority is low, the business point of view, and the severity, which is code part of view, is going to be a minor, because it's not a minor, it's not a severe stuff. Like it's just a spelling mistake on that particular page. So this falls under this quadrant. You get it, right?
Yes, sir.
So priority is low in that form, in that case, and severity is low because to the user, it doesn't have much impact. So this kind of issue will be low priority and low severity. It will have less impact on the user and also not that big mistake to the developer as well. Okay. So here we have priority is high, severity is minor. So what fall under this page? Priority is high, priority is
Already.
high, severity is low.
We can't
So
see the quadrant, the four
as it
card quadrant.
yeah, the top one right here.
We can't see it.
Okay. You can see that?
No, you got to flip back off the Google page. There you
Okay.
go.
So here we have a priority is high, severity is minor. So what falls under this day? Okay, for instance, let's talk about spelling mistakes. It should be the spelling mistake we're going to fall under these portraits, under these quadrants, all right? So although it's not that big mistake from the development point of view, which is severity, the code part of it, but the user experience will be very bad with this kind of spelling mistake. So it will have a very high priority. Okay. So the code part of view, when you see a spelling mistake on the website, instead of Google, you are saying Google. Okay, or you Chase Bank or Bank of America instead of Bank of America. But in the code part of view, it will be of a minor, it's a low priority because it doesn't have anything to do with the with the code point of view. But it's high because the high number of landings. Users are going to see that any spelling mistake, priority ought to do with user experience, business point of view, because the users are going to see that. So just a spelling mistake going to be of a high priority, but in the code aspect of it, it's going to be minor because it doesn't have much impact on the code developer point of view. So it's a spelling mistake. So you're going to be, this is going to fall under this portrait. Okay. Priority is high, severity is low, or severity is minor, right? So it's going to fall under this portrait, under this quadrant, under this portrait right here. Because spelling mistakes is going to be a high priority because users are going to see that. But to the core part of view, which is severity, also to do with the core part of view, development part of view is going to be minor severity. So it falls under this portrait. So when talking about priority is high, severity is critical. So what will that fall under these portraits?
We can consider the search button on Google.
Search button on Google, and what's going to happen right there?
If you put in your information and you couldn't get access, it's gonna be a because users are coming in,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
the coding is also vital
Yes,
important.
it's critical. Yeah, users and also the code aspect of it. So other also if you take an example for the payment gateway, like your credit card, you want to pay, you make payments, you want to make a bill, you want to pay for or you want to shop for an e-commerce application. Like that's what I mean by your payment gateway is not working. You have that page, you want to make payment. Final, you have put everything in your cart box, I mean your cart and your items on your cart, and now you want to execute, you want to make payment for that particular site or that particular items you want to shop for. So the payment gateway is not working in your e-commerce application, e-commerce website. Okay, the payment gateway itself is not working. You are not able to make the payments. All right. So it has a high impact on the business, okay, business point of view as well, because the owner of the website is not getting the money as well. It's not getting the money as well. It will have a bad user experience as well. So that's going to fall under this quadrant, the critical ball,
Yeah,
because
priority high and severity critical.
it's critical. You can't make the payment. So that falls under this quadrant. So priority is low, severity is critical. You can explain
That
that. What falls under this?
Oh, this bottom corner. So that's just like that Microsoft. The priority was high and the severity was critical, huh?
Yeah. So we're going to
Microsoft
fall
just
under the
the Microsoft just went down on Friday.
yeah, it went on Friday. Yeah, exactly. It went on Friday. I wasn't able to do my dental appointment because they say Microsoft team is down.
Oh
So,
wow.
so it's gonna be critical, all right?
You're
This gonna
right.
fall under these quadrants
High and
because
critical.
users, yeah, critical severity, the coding part of it. It also affect the developers also, all right? So this falls inside the critical. Yeah, yeah. Microsoft team was down yesterday on Friday. Yeah. Yeah, so that falls on the quadrant. So you see the user experience, they can make use of it, you can do appointment. And the code part of it, the developers are having issues. So also able to test this particular application, you have to, the code is down. There's a huge blunder on that. It's not running. The functionality is not running. As I told you, the critical does with the functionality, why the priority does with the business aspect of user experience. So this falls under this portrait. So the last one is the priority is low, severity is critical. What falls under this portrait? What do you consider to fall under this portrait? It will be
Mhm.
low priority and severity is critical. This example we already taken when we discussed about the page, which less number of people are coming.
Yeah. Like the
Okay.
term of use and
Yeah, and it's having errors. So it will be critical there. Okay. This is a huge problem on the coding. Okay. So in that terms and condition where you have a download link section, user don't really you download that on their privacy terms and condition on the Google page. So the priority is going to be low because you have less user um, landings here. Okay, you don't click on these archive versions, but to the coding part of it is going to be what the because there is a huge problem on in the code being developed. There is error in the code, which is severe. Okay, but since less number of users are coming to that page, to this page, it will be of a what of a low priority. So it's going to fall under this word, this quadrant. All right. So
yeah.
that is what severity is about. Severity should have in the back of your mind that is all to do with how bad the codes are. The developer has made a huge blunder. I can't test it. I can't test the functionality. It's all about functionality. Priority is our business values, the business, the users experience, how they're going to use it, what they're going to see. So priority, that word priority comes from the users, the clients. Fix this on a priority. Priority mail. You remember your USPS? Okay. So this is about the user experience. Okay. Making that of that. So that is it. We have just 5 minutes to end the class. Do you have anyone have a question before we go to what this is all about? Bug life cycle, typical interview questions. Or should we continue next week? I'll also
No, sir.
summarize it. Any question, Abraham?
Let me
Mike,
keep-
you have any
No,
question?
I don't have a question. It's simplified. It's simplified.
Okay.
Explanatory,
They're
yeah.
going to send to you. Quickly, I want to run it up with this bug life cycle. Bug is already what he's talking about. You know, in anything we are doing, first of all, we do what we first start with a new thing. Anything we do, it has a starting point. For instance, let's say a new bug comes into the system, like you catch a bug, like you're able to log into that particular page. That's a bug, you raise a bug. Okay. So for instance, you raise a bug, bugs come into the system. As soon as you raise a bug, it will be a new bug. Okay. As soon as you raise a bug, it will be a new bug. After that, it will be in progress. Like when anything comes to the system, it will be you raise a bug for that. Anything, any bug you catch in your system, in your application, your industry, your job, consider to be a new bug. All right, there's to be a new bug. Then when you catch the bug, as soon as you catch the ball, you raise a ball, it will be a new ball when you raise the ball. After that, it will be in progress. In progress means they are fixing it. Okay. Maybe you send it to the developer that are going to face the board that, oh, this system is not, this application, this functionality is not working. This login page is not working. Okay, this username and password and log into this data is not really working. So you raise a bug for that. You raise a ticket for that. So when you raise a ticket for that, it considers to be a new bug. Okay, how to raise the bug, how to log in the bug. We're going to talk about that in the next session. We're using a tool called Jira. Okay, so when you raise a bug, it considers to be a new bug. So when you raise it, it's now going into in progress. Maybe they are fixing it. Okay, so after that, you'll be in progress. Some development people will start working on it. It becomes in progress. Okay, then after that, they will resolve it. All right, they will resolve it. When they resolve this bug, resolve can be like anything. They can either say, oh, we can either defer it, like they keep it for some time, or maybe you have something else they are doing, something serious. It depends how serious the bug is. It can be in two terms. It can either defer it or they resolve that particular bug. So resolve can be anything. They can either defer the bug, they can resolve this particular bug, or they can say this is not a bug. They can reject it and say this is not a bug. Okay, either they can defer it, keep it aside, and say we'll fix it later on. We have something else we're doing. Maybe this is not a critical bug, or this is not a, you talk about priority and severity or whatever it is. This is not a critical bug. This is not a priority bug. Okay, so they can either defer it. So if they actually resolve it, they didn't defer it, or they didn't reject it, or they resolve it, then what happened? If they resolve this particular bug, then they say this is not a bug. Then after this, they will retest it. Okay, they will test this bug. You will test this bug. After you test it, then you close the bug. The log is this bug is being closed. So in summary, you will raise a bug. It's just as simple as that. You raise a bug. The development team will work on it. Then you retest it.
Sorry.
After then you close it. Okay. So it's just a simple and short. When you raise a bug, it converts to a new bug. Then when they are working on it, it becomes in progress. Okay, it's in progress. Then after in progress, then they retest it. After we test it, then they close the bug. You close it. That's okay. This bug can be fixed. Then it closes. Just 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So that's just a summary. Easy. All right. You raise a bug, and you go into in progress. After in progress, you retest it, then they close the bug. So that's what it. But what ISTQB is saying is that okay. Now, what ISTQB in this is the 4 phases of the bug. We raise a bug, you test consider to be new bug, you is in progress, then new bug is in progress, then they will test it. Then after retesting, they close the bug. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 phases. But in so many, he has so many phases. Bug life cycle have so many phases. It depends on your industry, the job, your company, what the testing team is using to treat a particular bug. So in many, but for interview point of view, for the ISTQB, what the ISTQB say about bug life cycle is that they have 9 phases. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 phases. Okay, it has a lot of phases. We have new, we have
What is,
assigned.
excuse me, what is
Okay.
ISTQB?
ISTQB is what you call the International Software Testing Board. Those are people that
Okay,
license the software testing industry. Okay.
all right.
ISTQB. Okay. What's it mean? Okay. You can see ISTQB is International Software Testing Qualification
All
Board.
right.
Yeah, there's a testing board that licenses the testing words. Okay, so what they describe about how to fix a bug, what is the bug life cycle is there is their own phases. They say this is the phase every industry has to undergo, but it depends on your own testing team, how they want to treat a bug. Some testing team I say, okay, we raise a bug, it tends to be new, is in progress, we retest it and we close it. That's it. But in the ISTQB, it has 9 phases. We have the new, assign, open, test, verify, close, reopen, rejected, defer. This is for interview point of view and ISTQB ways of testing a particular bug when it's being found in a system. So therefore it has a lot of phases. We have new, assign, open, test, verify, close, and in between this open, we have rejected, we have deferred. Okay, in between this open, we have rejected, we have deferred, and in between these tests, we have reopen. Okay, so this is deferred, there is the rejected. So it has 9 phases in all. Any bug, you should understand that any bug which you are opening will go through these phases. But actually depends on various organizations. Some you can see 11, you can see 12, and etc. You can see 10. So some organization made it simple that it only have 5 phases. It has only 5 phases. Some has only 6 phases. Some has only 7. It depends on what testing team is in carrying treating any bug they found in any application. All depends on the project settings any bug tracking tool is making for the client. It all depends on how testing team wants to work in a particular team, how many phases they want. So, but you should know that, but interview point of view, any bug you raise is considered a new bug. Any bug you raise is considered a new bug. Okay. As soon as now, when you raise a bug, it goes to assigning. Okay. Assigning is that as soon as the bug is open, it will get assigned to a developer. Right? It will get assigned to what? To the developer that builds the application. Similarly to test leads, we have in our own team, we have our test leads for testing people, your own team, you have your test leads. Okay. So similarly to the development lead, to the development people, they have their own test development leads. So the development lead, we assign the ball to one developer in his team or our team. So there is more experienced guys in the team and less experienced guys in that team. So any high priority ball will be assigned to more experienced guy in the team. Okay. So any low priority, low severity ball can be assigned to a fresher. Any low priority, high severity bug can be assigned to someone who is moderately experienced, but bug which is high priority, critical severity, which be assigned to a very good developer. So they have those kind of people in their own team too, as we have that in our own team for testing people. Okay. So these decisions are taken by the development leads, the development leads in their own team, development leads, right? So now they assign this bug and the bug tends to be open. Open can be also, you can call it in progress. It will be in progress. Here you say open, but you can also call it in progress. So it will be in progress. Both words are used for this particular phase, all right? So from in progress, development will start analyzing this particular bug. After the analysis, they may come and say, no, this is not a bug. This is a wrong bug. QA team has created, that you have created, the quality assurance has created. This is not a bug. Suppose you created a bug that the payment gateway, I just showed you, the payment gateway is not working. You know, sometimes the payment gateway, when you make your items, you select your items on e-commerce application like Amazon, eBay, and you want to make payment. And sometimes it shows the error 404, 504. It might be your server, it might be your internet connection, internet connectivity. and you quickly raise a bug and say it's a bug. So the gateway is not working, but it was due to your internet connection from your side. So the developer can reject the bug and reject that, oh, but this is not a bug, it's working at my own end. You are hearing me right now through the Zoom network. Sometimes the voice might be cracky, or it might be your own connection, not from my own end. Okay, so the developer might reject this bug, your own, that this bug, because it was your own connectivity, your own internet connectivity from your own end, so that is not a bug. So it can either was reject it, or it might defy it. Defilement might be as as we discussed, there can be low priority bug. We can have a high priority bug. So if it's of a low priority, you can defy it. As we discussed, that low priority and low severity bug. In that case, what he can do is to defy it. He can say, I have some, ma'am, I have so many tasks to do right now. Let's leave it for now. I will take it after some time. So you can either defy it. So if we fix that bug, then it goes to retest. After open, then he will assign this back to the tester to test it. It goes to the phase. The person will raise the bug to test it again. Okay? You will assign this back to the tester who has raised his bug. Then testing will happen for this particular bug. Then testing team can say, no, that particular bug is not working. What he just sent to me is not working. Then he send it to what we open. For we open, it will go to what? In progress. Or open, to go to in progress. All right? So if there is no bug in the system and everything is tested correctly, is no bug in the system, then it goes to verified. If it's working fine, then it goes to verified. Then if everything is working fine, verified, everything is working fine, there's no bug in the system, the login page, you're able to log into your page, there's no bug into it, then it goes to closure. That's what bug life cycle is. It's a life cycle, bug life cycle. So there can be very different variation for it as well. In some organization, it can happen from rejected to verify, then closure. All right. So it depends different phases, different organization is doing to treat their own bug. So there can be different variation from it as well. It's in some organization, what happens from rejected, it comes from testing. The developer has said this bug is rejected, this is not working, but tester still needs to verify it. So from rejected, this will come to test. Okay, so they will again test it. There can be another variation of it. From there only, they can only close the bug. So it all depends on the variation of any organization is taking from testing the particular bug. Okay, so then who close the bug? The project manager will close that particular bug. You don't have the right to close the bug. Your project manager will close that authority to close the bug. So that's what the bug life cycle is. It's a phase where the bug is being treated to avoid bug in the application. So it goes through the bug life cycle. They raise a bug, it tends to be new, then it goes to assigning. Then the developer team that develop that particular application have to what? Assign it to it depends the kind of bug. Is it a high priority bug or a low priority bug? If it's of low priority and low severity, then you can define it and say, okay, I will do it, send it sometime, I have something else I'm doing. But if it's of a high priority, if it's not a bug, maybe your internet connection is due to a payment gateway, you can reject that this is not a bug. But if you fix the bug, then it then goes to retesting. You have to test that bug again. And if this bug is not fixed, then you have to reopen it again. It goes into progress. Then if it's being fixed, it goes to verify that to make sure it's being fixed. After it's being fixed, then it goes to closure. Your test manager will then close the bug. Who has authority to close the bug? Very important question in interview point of view, bug life cycle. So before we end the class, I want us to take a quick quiz before we close the class. I hope I have any question. Any question, guys? Bug life cycle?
No.
Yeah, just 2 minutes to close the class, just 1 minute. Now, yeah, just one quiz. Now, can someone tell me whose duty is to raise the bug? Who raised the bug?
The client.
No, not the client. Who raised the bug?
The team lead,
No, you yourself, the QA. You raised it. You
QA.
are the one testing. The
Okay.
QA.
The
All right.
QA.
All right. So who assigned the bug? Who is want to assign the bug to the fresher or to the hype? Someone that has more experience, in their team, they have more, anybody that has more experience.
Is it not the team lead?
The development lead,
The development lead, yeah.
because you assign it over to developer. So the development lead,
Developer. Okay.
yeah, you assign to a fresher if it's a low priority bug and a low severity bug. So you assign it to a fresher. But it's a low severity and critical bug to assign to a moderate, someone who has a moderate experience in the team. So they have those kind of things in their system. So someone, if any low priority, any low priority, high severity bug can be assigned to someone who is moderately
Moderately.
experienced. Okay. All right. So who does all this thing is the development lead. He assigned a task duty to this. So who opens?
So sorry, excuse me, Stanley. So whose job is it to create a task under a bug?
Whose job is to do what?
To create tasks under bugs.
To create a task on that bug.
Yeah.
Is a lead. I'm talking about a task. He's giving you the task to work on. There's a bug that's the QA. There's a bug that you guys have raised. You found the bug, right? In the system. Okay, when you find the bug, you have to assign the bug how you raise the bug. So who assigned the bug is the developer, because you're saying to the development people to treat it. So they're going to see the task that is being raised as a bug in the system, because you're going to be using a tool called Jira tool. Okay, the Jira tool is that kind of tool that you use to log in your bugs. We're going to do how to log in your bugs in the next section, okay? But they're going to see that a bug has been raised. It's going to be a red flash, okay? There's a tax ahead, you have to raise it. But when you do about Jira and Agile, you know how to do all those things in your team. But who assigning it is development lead. He assigned the bug. So now, I hope you get it right now.
Yeah.
So now, who opens the bug now? Who opens the bug? Who opens it? Who task is to open the bug? When it's being assigned, who opens the bug?
The tester.
No, is the developer. They have to work on it. The developer.
The developer. Okay.
You work on it. They work on it.
All right.
You work on it. Yeah. They work on it. Okay. So when it's being raised, they're going to work on that particular bug. So they open it because you create it. So they're going to open what you created. Okay, what they will work on. So now, who rejects the bug? Who mark it as rejected?
The testers.
The developer, the person that opened it.
Yeah, the developer. Yeah, the developer might get rejected because it might be your payment gateway is not working due to your internet connections, and you raise the bug for that. So he tested it and found out, no, come on, this is not a bug. It might due to your internet connection. When you try to make payments, your payment gateway is not working. It might be to your internet connection. So he rejects the bug because he's the one working on the bug. So he has the right to reject it. All right. Remember what I just showed to you from the diagram. All right. Yeah. So he rejects the bug. So his developer rejects the bug. Who defiled the bug? Who deferred the bug? The developer, the dev.
Same person, yes. The
developer
developer.
can mark it as deferred because of some project. He has some task. there are some tasks ahead. So maybe it's a low priority bug and a low severity bug. So you can mark it as, you can treat it in later time. So now we'll test it again. It comes to testing.
The
We'll test
QA.
the bug. The QA, same QA, same QA. We will test it. Now we will open the bug again. We will open it.
The QA can reopen it.
Yeah, the QA. Same QA we mark it as we open. Okay, if it's not tested, if it's probably tested, you have to reopen it again. As I showed, look at the diagram when you go to the video, see that it comes to testing and you find that there's a bug in the system again, you open the bug again. Okay, then it goes into in progress, right? So the same QA we
Right.
mark as we open. So we'll verify it again. We'll verify the bug when it has been tested. We'll verify the bug.
The QA.
Same QA.
So there's only 2 people on a team. That's once there's a bug is found, there's only these 2 people, the QA and the developer that's working on this bug.
No, we're working as a team. The QA team, we are like, we're gonna be 10, the QA team. QA quality analysts, not only you. We have people, is a team of people working in an industry. So it's not only you or 2 people, no.
Right,
So
but
yeah,
what I'm saying, so if we found the bug, is it gonna be the same QA? Like you got the QA
yeah,
when we
these are you are testing a module, you are testing a particular application. So they give you this application, this own task to test these logging functionalities. The other person is to test the loan applications. The other person task is to test but I'll have a class with you to further explain more to you before we come on to that, but you understand more.
All
If you
right.
watch your videos, you get it right. So there are people working in different modules. So this is your own task. So your own task, you found a bug in your task, so you raise it. So when you raise it, they're going to start fixing particular that particular bug in our system. So it's the same QA that are going to verify it if this bug is being treated, is being corrected, is being tested, and being treated. So it's this particular QA that will verify this bug. So who closed the bug? Who is duty is to close the bug?
The 2 of them.
Thank you.
The
Who closed the bug?
The developer and the QA.
Is the
No, the
project. Nobody has
developer.
the right. It's the project
Who?
manager.
Project manager.
Yeah, it's only one that has the duty. No one else has the right to close their bug. It's the project manager or your test lead. Okay, your project manager or your test manager will mark any bug as closed. No one else can do that. So very important questions in interview point of view, bug life cycles. All right. So the video will be sent to you. Go through the video and take a note because these are most interview questions being asked. Bug life cycle. Can you tell me more about the bug life cycle? So if we can explain this to you, it gives more reputation on your interview panel. All right, with this, we will end the class for today. Next section, we will start with Jira on how to log in bug and Jira 2 and the bug life cycle and database testing using SQL will follow as soon as possible.
Thank
So
you.
anyone have
Thank
any
you
question?
so much. You did an excellent job.
Yes, thanks, man. Yes.
All right, thank you, Stanley.
All right.
Thank you, Stanley.
Thank you, sir.
All right. The video we sent to you, so take a note of that. So we continue.
All
Have a
right.
good
We
weekend.
do. Bye,
All right.
guys. Y'all have a good day.
You too, Mom.